That was a complete wrist snapper. Like, one that I haven't experienced in a very long time. And I am constantly contorting myself in all kinds of crazy, you don't even want to know. But I successfully removed the master cylinder on the Lancia Delta Evo Integrale, and it actually wasn't that bad. I mean, like, so I'm griping about it, but it actually wasn't that bad overall. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of, it was enjoyable. It took a while. It was like agonizing threading in the line nuts. That was agonizing. You don't want to cross thread those puppies, and there's not a lot of room, and you can hear my wrist pop. That's from the surgeries I've had before. See, told you. This body been subjected to some abuse. But hey, you don't get good at wrenching without wrenching. Did I just call myself good at this? I hope I am. Well, here, check out the old master cylinder first, and then I'll show you the new one where it's bolted up. And yes, I'm just showing you an installed part. Boring, I know. Look, if you had been with me on the ride, there were not good camera angles, there was not good lighting, there was good nothing. It would have been the worst thing to watch. This is better. It's better this way. Just trust me. My sweet little homies. My sweet little homies. Just trust me, my sweet little homies. Yeah. Now here we have the problem. This car has very low miles on it, but as is with most things mechanical, as would be, would that it were with most things mechanical, I'm gonna edit that out for sure. As with most cars that sit, the master cylinders with extremely caustic fluid inside, i.e. brake fluid, hydraulic, high temperature fluid, in there all the day long against rubber seals and O-rings. What's gonna happen? The rubber eventually, although built to put up with it, eventually will not be able to put up with it. And this one gave out completely. You can see around the bore here, well, first of all, you can see how it's rusted, so it's been in kind of a humid environment inside there. And then you can see around the bore here, if I take with my finger, look at the wetness. See that wetness, and you see that little dribble coming off of there? That's brake fluid. And that's not brake fluid that came and poured out of it when I was removing it, because yes, if I were to tip this thing over right now, there's still gonna be a little residual brake fluid hanging out in the either inlets or the outlet ports, and it's gonna spill, right? This brake fluid is from the main piston seals inside this master cylinder. There's springs and there's pistons, and they go individually on circuits, and they pump fluid through, and one does one and one does the other half of it, and there's a through rod with all these seals, right? It's rebuildable. You for sure can pop this little circlip off of here, and you can take all those seals and everything out, but what is the point? Because you technically should re-hone the bore and do all this stuff when you rebuild it, and the reproduction part, which is actually made by the original manufacturer, which is Magneti Marelli. They make it. We can buy it. OEM. See, there's still brake fluid in it. That's what I was saying. And if I tipped it around too much, there would be. I want a Lancia Delta Evo Integrale. I'll work on it myself. I'll do everything myself. It'll be so much fun. No, you don't. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. It won't be fun. It's not gonna be fun at all. You're gonna hurt yourself. Don't buy this car. It intends to hurt you. It does not like you. It likes a qualified, competent professional, also known as someone willing to give up their ability to move their wrists in the future, because you have to break your wrists in about 4 different places to do this job. Okay, this is the ABS distribution block. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, except for that the brake fluid and brake lines run to it. Down here, however, is the master cylinder. Let's get this out of the way. That right there that my finger's pointing to. Can you see it? Not yet, huh? That's right. You can't see it yet. Why can't you see it yet? Because it's impossible to see. You still kind of can't see it, right? All right, let me get this hose out of the way. If we pull this big puppy out of the way, we push this little guy out of the way. There it is right there, okay? Well, now I've got no hands to point with. And you see the problem? Okay, there we go. Master cylinder. If I can lay the camera down, which I can. Oh, Moses and the bulrushes, we're getting there. Oh, I love it. Hey. All right, now we're looking at the master cylinder. So, this is what I removed, okay? This nut down here, that's that one there, and my finger's trying to point to. My thumb's pointing to it better. That one. I removed that. I removed this, the line nut. I removed this line nut over here on this side. And somehow, and I'm not sure how now, but behind these feed lines, there's another line nut. Oh, it's back there somewhere. Okay, and I removed that one as well. I don't know if you'll ever be able to see that, but it's back there. You're gonna have to trust me with some of this. It's a Lancia Delta, man. I've done a lot of work on these cars, so at a certain point, you gotta that's where trust kicks in. Okay, and you unbolt that master cylinder, you remove all those lines, you pull that puppy out of there, you can replace it, and that's what I did. I replaced that. I'm very proud of myself. The Lancia is going on beautiful new Bilstein Struts, and it has wonderful billet aluminum upper strut mount, racing upgrade, if you will, and yeah. So I'm gonna throw these puppies on. We'll just keep on keeping on with this. But this build is shaping up really nice. These things are pretty. Continuing on with the Lancia build, I'm replacing the brake servo hose as well as a whole host of other hoses. I'm going to be going through pretty much all the air pressurization hoses and intake hoses for that matter. Going to be replacing the coolant hoses, going to be replacing a lot of hoses. So it's hose day. Woo! Hoses! Under decar. We're going to start with the investigative approach. There's no clamp on it. It is, as the crow flies, right there. I don't know exactly how to get the light on it best. Maybe from this angle over here. I can put my light down there. Yeah. It's that hose that my finger's on right there. I don't know if that's viewable. But that's the hose. Right up there. I'm going to pop that one off. It looks like it snakes under a bunch of wiring harnesses. I know it goes, or over a bunch of wiring harnesses, I should say. And then I know it goes under another primary hose that comes across the top. So I'm going to try and pop it off of there actually with a pry bar now that I see exactly how it's angled and what it looks like. And we'll see what we get to. This is one of my favorite tools in the business. This is a panel clip remover, but it is on the long side. It's on the long side of the law. So you can use it for pushing all kinds of things off. It's got a little V in it and it just works out well. So I'm gonna try and go after it with this. And as Janis Joplin would say, pry, pry, baby, dun, dun, dun. Pry, baby, dun, dun, dun. Pry, baby, dun, 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 dun. Don't you turn your back on love. Oh, sweet love. I think that I've got it. It's not off, but the hose is so old and dry rotted that this side appears to have torn in my efforts to try and remove it. And as a result of that, I think I can probably remove it by hand from the top now. I got it. Target acquired. It's old, it's disturbing, it's disgusting. It's time for replacement. It did in fact just split on the end there when I went to remove it. So that's great. The new one is not form-shaped. This one, as you can see, makes its lovely little squiggly pattern. Like a couple of bends at a formula track. The new one doesn't. The new one is just hose. I'm gonna leave it full length for that reason. As a result of it not being form-fitted, there is a chance that it has to route itself in a different way than that hose did. That one was so specific with its shape, right? Like that I'm thinking this one might have to do some other things. I'm gonna leave it be full length for now, and then I will trim it after I'm bolting up the intake manifold and have an idea of exactly how this hose is going to route. I am going to route it to the firewall through the original location. Don't get me wrong, I love Lancia, but they're really hard on us mechanics. Anytime you've got a company that's mostly all engineers, you just know that the maintenance on them, on their products anyway, it's going to be, and it's not that bad. I've gotten used to them. There is one bolt that I think pretty much everybody wants to pull their beard hair out. Even if you can't grow a beard, just digging for follicles and ripping them out of your face, because it is so infuriating. I have a system for it. It's not that bad, but it's just, I don't know. I thought I'd show you because I'm at that stage. This cover here, okay, it's a famous cover in the Delta land, at least in the Delta Evo land, the Delta land, whatever, everybody knows about it. This cover is your balance shaft belt cover for the backside of the engine. It protects it going all the way down while all your auxiliaries, ancillaries, and accessories run over in this section. And this cover famously has a bolt that runs through it. This bolt right here that my finger's on, it runs through that cover, and that's in an enclosure. Now what you do is, this first time you take this cover off, you realize that they were idiots for doing that, because that bolts to the water pump and there's a gasket there, and you never want to take that bolt out or it'll leak coolant everywhere. And you obviously want to be able to do your belts and things without having to do a water pump, because the water pump is separately run and all of that. So if it's not at the interval for the water pump, then you're like, okay, I don't have to do it. I'm just going to do the belt. Okay, you're getting the idea, right? You notch so that this cover here will fit over this bolt here. So you notch that. That is not the bolt I'm talking about. It's not. That's not the bolt I'm talking about. Can you believe that? As annoying as that is, it's not the bolt I'm talking about. Here's the bolt I'm talking about. You have journeyed with me now into the wheel well of the Lancia Delta. Here's our brand new Bilstein strut on there, and our beautiful stainless steel brake hose. And inside, with the wheel well cover off, there is a bolt that is running to where my extension is here. So you see my extension coming all the way out? That is actually on a bolt head with my itty bitty ratchet handle, because this thing takes nigh of the torque. It is just very, very light. Does not need much. Okay, so here, this is this right here that I'm pointing to. That's the cover that I'm talking about that is so annoying. I'll give you the underside shot here. There's the water pump notch out situations right there. Okay, so we've notched out for the upper bolt of the coolant manifold that runs behind the engine. And down here, boy, oh boy, buddy, there's a bolt right there behind that belt, behind that balance shaft belt. Why? Why did they do that? And just so you know, the body is right there. You can't get your hand in here at all. Like, look at my finger size, and I have very lithe fingers. All right, so not getting in there. Okay, So I figured I'd show you the bolt head in a second here. I'm just gonna make sure we're good on torque. We are. It's just an M6. And boom. And there is my magic setup for it. It is the shallowest of shallow sockets that is cap recessed, 10 millimeter. And then a wobble extension of about fair size. You know, nobody's complaining with that extension. It's making everyone happy, pleasing. Okay, moving right along. And then, you know, ratchet handle, 1/4 inch, but you use whatever you want. I'm just using this baby guy because it's, you know, handy. I was doing hose clamp work with that, so I had it. I was like, all right. Coming back in, the bolt head is in fact going to be seen in pink there. See it? See that little bolt head hanging out just to the right of the belt? Yeah, that one. How annoying is that they did that? I mean, what in the holy hell? There it is, that one. That is officially one of the hardest buttons to button. Hiding behind the balance shaft belt. And what you can do, as I showed by taking it off, you could see this balance shaft belt will get out of the way ever so slightly. And you can fit that wobble head 1/4 inch right through this little triangle right here. This little triangle of space. And it can go right to the side of the belt. And it can go up and over that. And if you're doing this at home, I suggest that you grow a beard so you can pull the hair out. But if you're seeing this and the belt is ever so slightly flexed out of the way, and there it's on the bolt head, and it's nice and tight, and then it is removable. Now getting that bolt threaded up and inserted, well, that's really fun too. So I'm not saying that you want to do this. I'm not saying that I want to do this. I'm not saying that it's the worst thing on earth, but it's also not the best thing on earth. It's doable. It is the hardest bolt to bolt up on a Lancia Delta Evo Integrale, and I stand by that. And I have unbolted all of the other bolts on multiple versions of this car. Not this same exact car, but other cars that have come to the shop. That one, in car, makes a body mad. Anyway, things are going great. Thanks for asking. We've got new coolant manifold tubing. There's a whole host of new coolant and power steering hose, new fuel hose, all kinds of new stuff. That's the brake booster hose. You saw that already. New starters in. Yeah, anyway, cruising right along. This cover's in. I got to bolt up the coolant manifold before the silicone, you know, cures. So I'm going to do that. Great. You know the old expression, everything happens for a reason? Well, here I am, minding my own business, wrenching away on a Lancia Delta Evo Integrale. And my buddy Anthony gives me a call. There's no easy way to break this to you. I'm buying another car. I think the current count is like 23. So this would be the 24th vehicle. I'm counting a couple of motorcycles in there. Ooh, I sold a motorcycle. Down one. 20. This might be the 23rd vehicle. Okay. Hi, my name is Brandon, and I have a problem. You're not in the frame though. Nobody can see you. Come here. What do you think? I'm gonna get a new car. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Great, that's what Addie thinks. She don't care. She's making herself a little bed. So I know I have a problem. I understand. It's a cool car though. It's not a cool car because of the model. The model's whatever. This car is cool because it is crystal metallic green from the factory. Crystal metallic green, it's one of those colors that like you can't say no to. And this car has been sitting under a walnut tree for a while. And so it's crystal metallic green with walnut tree scum all over it, which makes it cooler to me because it's affordable. Anthony has this crystal green metallic 944 turbo that he has loved for many years that he really wanted to hang on to. He knows that I've always had my eye on it. Also, he knows that I have no business getting another car, like none whatsoever. But he called me up and he was like, dude, come and get it today. Get it. Just get it. Just take it away today. And I was like, okay. And he's like, today, like 20 minutes ago. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. So I got to get a trailer. I got to pick up some cash from the bank. I'm still looking for a bank with wooden doors. Let me know if you find one. And I'll meet you there. Trailer, bank, trailer, doesn't matter the order. To Anthony's, buy a car, bring it back, finish my workday. These are the things I do. Then here's the cool thing. Then we get to play with a Porsche 944 Turbo. Hasn't run in years, needs a full suspension refresh, needs God knows whatever else, brake, clutch, master cylinder, all sorts of things. A good buff out. It's going to be a patina car. Probably everything else that a Porsche 944 Turbo that sat for like 28 years, 35, 40, 60 million decades would need. But it's crystal green metallic. And green, as you may or may not know, that's my favorite color. I can't say no. Let's go get this car. It has brakes. I told you. I mean, it is a cool car. Here we are, Lancia-ing and Delta-ing, our way into a brave new future. The intake manifold, inlet manifold, per the manual, is in place. A bunch of hoses and things are connected back there. Things that we won't talk about. Things that got me to this extent of grimeage, which is like average for this car. What you can't see is the pain that my forearms are in from tight-fitting spaces and lots of hand manipulation. 25 Newton meters. 2.5 decanewton meters. That's what we're going to. Now, I start just with a little gentle tension. Gentle tension. And I'm gonna move to the bottom bolts. I'll find my way there, I promise. I'm not promising you, I'm promising the car. And I want to move to these bottom bolts because I don't want to tighten up this inlet manifold and have, sorry, I have to focus. Oh, ridiculous. There we go. Have to get some grip on it, I guess. So, as I was saying, before the Lancia so rudely interrupted me, I do a top bolt and a bottom bolt, and then a crossing top bolt, and then a crossing bottom bolt. And the reason why I do that is because I want to pull this manifold into place nice and true against the gasket. It actually sits in place really well. But you can create an air gap at the bottom of manifold if you tighten the top bolts up and then you try and pull the bottom bolts in, and you've crushed the top gasket in such a manner that you can no longer bring it to flush. Why am I being so weird? I have no idea. It's 7:30 p.m. I've been here all day, which is fine. I work here, so one would expect that I've been here all day, but that's a long day. Okay, we're gonna call it a day on that one. Well, not a day, because we're not quite, where do we get to? It's 7.7 Newton meters. That's respectable. Now, as I said, my goal here is to just draw this manifold up, and I will then torque it. I'm not worried about the gasket crush once I get to torque, right? So I'm not worried about like pinching the gasket, like I said. Once I've got a reasonable amount of torque on all the fasteners, then I can just kind of tighten it as needed. All right, that one's got 9 on it. Now I need to flip to the bottom side of that, which is going to be a chore. I might do it with a wobble. 2 wobble extension options here. These have a little wobble head on them so that the socket can wobble around. Now, you wouldn't want to actually take a torque measurement with that because it could throw off your torque measurement. However, I'm just looking to snug things up. Now, on this side of the playing field, I have to see if I can even get at what I want to get at. And if I can, then great. And if I can't, then not great. It's gonna be hard. No one said that Lancia Deltas were easy. But nobody told me it would be this hard to work on a car, to work on a car. Why you gotta be such a difficult car? I'm just trying to work on you. I'll let you know when you can stream that on Spotify. I think I'll call it I'm Just Trying to Work on You, car. Can you please give me some swing room? No? Okay. That's worthless. I'm gonna try my medium length extension here and see if I can't get around the firewall. And, oh man, this brake booster hose. So, what I'm trying to do now is come at it from the backside. I do not trust that. Okay, I'll trust that. All right. 26 Newton meters. Fine. Get torque happy. 1 Newton meter on the hardest one to do. There we go. We're all Newton metered up. And now a quick check. I'll go all the way across the top, and then I'll do the bottom ones because they're frustrating and hard. So now, there's another fun part of this, which is that there is a bracket that goes under the intake manifold that I've left loose that supports power steering pump assembly. I have to reach down there and connect that bracket to the cylinder head. Easier said than done. I think I can get at it from this angle. I can see it from over here. So I'm gonna root around in there from this angle. Somewhere down here, this bracket connects. So the important thing is to not strip this. And I believe I've done that. Not stripped it. I believe I've not stripped it. There is possibility that I can get the torque wrench on that, and I would love to take it to torque. Take me to torque. Oh. Nope. Nope, not that one. Not with that one. Can't do that. Gotta change it. Change it. I'm going through change it. Ba-na-na, na-na-na, na. Aren't you glad that you tuned in to my hour of random songs? Yeah, there we go. Come on, let me get on it. I got on it. Oh, 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 oh. Don't be doing that. What'd you do? We still in newton meters? We're still in newton meters. Why'd we beep, bro? There we go. Just to make sure. Yep, we're there. Okay, I just had to make sure. Well, that was exciting. Well, probably trim this hose a little bit. I don't think we're gonna install it quite like that. It goes back here to back the intake manifold. It's the brake booster hose. Give me a break, break me off the booster hose. Kit Kat bar. Look, my creativity is dwindling, okay? I'm melting into a Lancia Delta. Okay. Well, I'm proud of my day's work. There's a whole lot of Lancia going on. We delta'd. We Lancia'd. We Evo'd. We Integrale'd. And we're getting there. Intake, inlet manifold. Bolted up. One more fastener to go, as you know. Support bar, as good. Coolant stuff, alternator wiring, starter wiring, all good. Power steering pump, connected, new hoses. Coolant reservoir, connected, new hose. Brake booster, gotta trim the hose, gotta connect. You get the idea. It's coming right along. It's gonna be good. Got a few more things to get. Waiting on idler bearing for the accessory belt tensioner so that I can put that in there. That'll be great. Waiting on multiple hoses. Look at that. Dirty hands. I'm going home. You can hear the crickets. Well, maybe you can't, but I can hear the crickets. My jokes are not landing. Good night.